What's going on, guys? This is Nate from the Scrub Academy, welcoming you back to another deck profile here on the channel. Today we are revisiting one of my favorite decks of all time. We are revisiting this deck because it is new and improved. I haven't done it for a while and haven't played this deck, and I really want to try out the new support that it has. So today we are actually going to be profiling my Fluffal deck. Now, Fluffals is one of my favorite decks of all time, not only because it is a fast-paced OTK deck, but because it got a cute little doggy, and who doesn't love a cute little dog? So we're playing this deck today. This is an OTK-based deck. There's no traps in it. Very fast-paced, kind of balls to the wall, dump it all out on the table and see what happens. If there's any hand traps or anything like that, you're probably going to lose. But we are playing a little bit of a couple things to combat that, as well as just being able to play through it is going to be very key. So if somebody has two infinite impermanence plus Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogre, like 3, 4, or 5 different hand traps, probably not going to be playing through it. But most times, if they only have 1 or 2 hand traps, you can play through. You might not OTK that turn, but you're going to be doing lots of damage on board, as well as we are playing a few things in our extra deck that allow us to kind of build a board and actually sit on it, and not just OTK and hope that your opponent can't do anything. Because if you can't OTK and you can't put a big enough presence on board, usually your opponent can just wipe your field and then go on about their merry way. So let's go ahead and jump into this real quick. I'll explain a few things along the way, especially if you're new to Fluffals. If you are, welcome to the channel. I'm a huge Fluffal enthusiast. I love Fluffals. It's one of my favorite decks. If you have any questions, let me know. Just leave it in the comments below, and then I can try and get back to you as quick as possible. Let's go ahead and jump into this. So first off, you're playing 3 Fluffal Dog. Fluffal Dog is probably the best card in the deck, one of the best cards, if not the best, just because it is the searcher of the deck. It's the Stratos. This allows you to add any Fluffal to your hand, so you can get any of your combos that you want to get going, as well as Edge Imp Sabers if you need to get that into your hand. So one of the best cards of the entire deck. Next, we have 2 of the Fluffal Penguin. Fluffal Penguin, you can normal summon it, then special summon another one from your hand, so that allows you to get more field presence, as well as when it's used as a fusion material, you can draw 2 and discard 1, so that allows you to get more cards in your hand, more draw cards, more card advantage, as well as get things that you don't really care about to the graveyard, and or discard things that will help you more when it goes to the graveyard. Next, we're playing 2 Bear. This used to be 3 for me, now it's at a 2, just because you don't really need 3 of them. It kind of gets cloggy because you only use it once per turn. Plus, you're never going to use its second effect of normal summoning it and attributing it to get a poly back to your hand. You don't need to do that anymore. You have way more ways to getting your poly. As well as you don't really want to see more than 1 toy vendor. It's a good card to see if you draw into it, but you don't want to be adding it to your hand as much or setting it. So 2 is just fine. You do need, however, 3 of the Wings. Now, Wings is obviously one of the best cards in the deck. If you don't know why, you use it with your toy vendor to draw a bunch of cards, as well as add cards to your hand. So it just adds all of that card advantage to your hand. So if they can't stop your card advantage, you're probably going to win just because you can overpower them with all your different options. Next up, we are playing a new card. This is Fluffal Dolphin. Now, if you don't know what Fluffal Dolphin is, I'll go ahead and read it for you real quick. You can target 1 toy vendor in your graveyard, set it, and if you do, send 1 Fluffal monster or Edge Imp Sabers from your deck to the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard as fusion material for a fusion summon, you can shuffle into the deck 1 of your fusion spells or polymerization spells that is banished or in your graveyard. You can only use the effect of Fluffal Dolphin once per turn. So, the way this works is you can literally, if you have a toy vendor in the grave, so say like you have a Foolish Burial of Goods, right? You activate that, you send your toy vendor. All right, cool. You've used your toy vendor. You've now searched your Fluffal Dolphin. Fluffal Dolphin, you'll normal summon your Fluffal Dolphin. You'll then set your toy vendor that you just sent with your Foolish Burial of Goods and send your Wings, which literally just makes everything live, and it doesn't make sense. It literally doesn't. Another way that this can be good is your Fluffal Penguin as well as your Fluffal Dolphin are both water types, as well as they are both level 4. So you can go into an Xyz play, like say, Bahamut Shark, which then gives you your Toad. So anyway, really good card. Honestly, like 3 is good, but again, bricky. So we're just going with 2 there. And then we do have the 1 Fluffal Owl, allows you to search for your poly as well as be a poly itself if they have something like anti-spell fragrance on the field, your Fluffal Cat, as well as your Fluffal Sheep. So that is all of the main deck Fluffal cards. Probably the best you've ever had when it comes to Fluffals, and I cannot wait to play it. I am going to be doing a live duel later this week for you guys, so make sure to check that out. I'll be able to link that later on for you guys. So moving on, we have one Edge Imp Sabers. You used to play like 3 of these, I think, because you really needed to see it. But now there's ways to search it, so you don't need to worry about that. So we're bumped that down to 1. Really good card, but obviously not the best anymore. Edge Imp Chain. We have 3. We're playing 3 of those. Allows you to search any Frightfur when it's sent to the graveyard. So it allows you to add your Frightfur Patrick to your hand, which then allows you to add your Poly to your hand, so you can search that. So everything searches everything, and it's just hand advantage, hand advantage, hand advantage, hand advantage the entire time, which is amazing. Next up, we're playing one more Edge Imp. We're playing the Edge Imp Scythe. Now, this is a brand new card that just came. Oh, I don't want to say brand new, but it's brand new to me because I haven't profiled this deck for you guys yet. So this card is amazing. So it allows you during your opponent's main phase, as a quick effect, I can reveal this card and then fusion summon a Frightfur fusion monster from my extra deck using cards in my hand or on the field. So it just allows you to fusion summon on your opponent's turn, so you can disrupt everything, which is crazy good. And then finally, the last monsters in the deck, we are playing 3 Psyframe Gear Gamma and the 1 Driver. These are just because you do want to have some kind of way of negating your opponent's effects. Like I said, you want to be able to play through their hand traps. And if you don't have any monsters in your hand, then you activate the Patchwork or something along those lines. Foolish Really Good to send your Toy Bender to get your play going, anything along those lines. If they Ash Blossom you, you're kind of screwed. So this right here allows you to just go off on your turn, as well as if like they're going first, right? And you don't want them to build their board. Obviously, you can activate this as well, but this is just a great card to be able to go into and just stop their cards in the middle of their tracks, and then you can go on with your plays. I have not, however, I need to look into this. You're usually using this on your turn. And so maybe I might want to switch out something in the extra deck and put in a level 8 Synchro. I'll look into that. So bear with me on that. We'll reach that when we reach that. Moving on to the spells, we've got the 3 Toy Vendor. Don't even need to talk about this card. Best card in the deck when it comes to getting your cards going. You can banish your wings as well as another Fluffal to draw a card, send this to the grave, draw a card, then Toy Vendor's effect goes off, and then you can search one. And you can, if you need to, you can discard a card to draw a card and reveal it. If it's a Fluffal, you can special summon off Toy Vendor's effect. You don't really use that effect, but the adding when it goes to the graveyard is one that you like to use, and it's not once per turn, so that is amazing. And then obviously you got to play a card that sends the Toy Vendor to the grave to get your cards going. You're playing 3 Foolish Burial Goods. After that, we do have our fusions. We've got the 3 Polymerization. You do play 1 Frightfur Fusion. You don't need more than 1. You can search this, so you don't have to worry about that. And I play a card most people aren't playing, which is the Frightfur Factory. It just allows you to banish your Polymerization from the graveyard, and then you can fusion summon that way. And then if this is destroyed, you can destroy with Tiger, Twin Twisters, anything like that. You can go ahead and do that. And this allows you to add back another one from your banish zone. So good stuff there. And then finally, we're going to have the 3 Frightfur Patchwork. This allows you to search for a Poly as well as an Edge Imp, and then you do have the 1 Frightfur Repair. I'm only taking 1. I feel like you don't need more than 1. If you don't know what this card does, I'll pop it up on the screen right now for you. It says target 1 Frightfur Fusion monster in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck, then you can special summon 1 Fluffal or Edge Imp monster from your graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon 1 Fluffal or Edge Imp monster from your hand. You can only use 1 Frightfur Repair effect once per turn, and only once that turn. So really good card, but you don't need more than 1. So that is the entire main deck. You don't need traps in this deck, obviously. I mean, you have your Psychics, the Psyframe Gears that you can use, but that's about it. I mean, you're just going to power through everything that they have for you. Like, they can build a board and you can just push right through it. So you do want to go second, obviously. If you're playing against a deck that can really screw you up, say like Heroes or anything like that, where they can get Dark Law on the field, and that just makes it so everything gets banished instead, you do have things where if you want to go first, you can. We'll cover that in the extra deck. So starting off the extra deck, we are playing the 2 Frightfur Sabertooth. Used to play 3 of these, don't really need 3 anymore. Really good card. You played 3 of these back when you had that Master Roll 4, I believe it was, where everything had to be up in the extra deck monster zone. And now that's gone, which is really nice, where it's really opened up a lot of plays. But this just allows us to bring things back. You used to literally just activate this effect and then bring out another one, then bring out another one, then bring out another one. You'd have like 4 of these on the field and just overpower. But you don't need to do that anymore. We're playing 3 of the brand new Frightfur Cruel Whale. Now, if you don't know what this card does, If this card is fusion summoned, you can destroy one card on both players' fields. Once per turn, as a quick effect, you can target one fusion monster you control. Send a Frightfur card from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard, except Frightfur Cruel Whale, and if you do, the targeted monster gains attack equal to half its original attack until the end of the turn. So what's really cool about that is you'll use the Edge Imp Scythe to fusion on your opponent's turn to special summon this, and you'll activate this effect, targeting itself as well as whatever card you're trying to disrupt on your opponent's field, and you can banish the Edge Imp Scythe from your graveyard, which then it makes it so your Frightfur Cruel Whale can't be destroyed, so you're literally just destroying their thing for free. And then you can send the Frightfur Repair to the grave to boost attacks, which is really good as well. So you play 3 of those. You also play 3 of those because of another card in the extra deck, which we'll get to shortly. You play the 1 Frightfur Kraken. You could probably play more than 1 if you really want to. I only play 1, you only really need 1. You can use it and then you bring out your Saber-tooth to bring it back. Then you're playing the 1 Tiger, the 1 Wolf, and then the 1 Sheep, rounding out the rest of the Frightfurs. Tiger's Explanational you destroy and then you can OTK. Wolf allows you to OTK, and Sheep allows you to make it so they can activate effects, and then you can bring back the Sheep if it's destroyed. Moving on to the links, you're playing 3 of them. You're playing the 1 Cross Sheep, really good card, allows you to just keep extending and special summoning, and extends your plays quite a lot. I went to go ahead and play the 1 Nightmare Unicorn. It's not the best link 3 there is out there, but I like it because it allows you to have removal on your opponent's turn, or allows you to have removal on your opponent's side of the field in case things are troublesome. And then we're playing the 1 Appaloosa just to have some good negates there if you're going first. You know, if they're playing heroes or anything like that, you want to have that on the field to help negate anything that might come your way. And then for Xyz, we're playing the 1 Totally Awesome and the 1 Bahamut Shark. This is going to be your Dolphin and Penguin play. So you'll bring this out and bring out the Totally Awesome. And then you do have the 1 True King of All Calamities. So like if you're playing against a deck that you really, really need to go first, you'll bring out the True King of All Calamities underneath an Appaloosa, and then have the Bahamut Shark with the Totally Awesome there. So you have a bunch of negates that allows you to finagle things and really handle things when you're going first, if you really need to. You don't want to go first, but if you have to, you can. But that is the entire main deck and extra deck. Side deck is just kind of whatever you want. Right now there's not really any locals, so whatever you have if you're doing remote duels. But yeah, that is the entire deck. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are a Frightfur fan, make sure to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button for me, because all your support is greatly appreciated. If there are any other decks out there in the world that you do want us to profile and do live duels with, each week we're doing live duels, depending on if it's our Seal Structure deck challenge or one of our live duels we're doing otherwise. So if you want to see any other crazy decks, let me know. I have a binder full of decks we can use. I'm not really into playing hardcore meta decks, just because everybody and their mother plays those. So we're more of like a tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, making them as good as they can be and be competitive against those tiers. That's what we're looking to do. So if you have any of those that you want us to see play, let us know down in the comment section below. But that's all I've got for right now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, this is Nate from the Scrub Academy, signing out for now. Peace out.